Okay, we have action. Chip Compton is Chip Compton's getting ready to. He's won the break. This is a race to 7. The Calcuttas of White Diamond Billiards is growing in legendary proportions. You think, what do you see here, Stan? Do you see him trying to carry him off that 9 and get shape on the 3, or just follow through? Well, he did it before we had a chance to say anything.
Yeah, the angle's a little bit awkward from this position, but I think he played the shot just right.
Big shot there, a little 3-rail shape.
Yeah, one thing that I notice about Chip and Joey is they're just so comfortable on the bar table. It just seems like there's not any situations that they're not totally ready to deal with.
I've seen both Chip and Joey Gray down in New Orleans at Buffalo Billiards, and they've been playing on the 9-foot tables. And look at that, we're praising these guys, and a real amateur mistake by Chip Compton.
Yeah, he was cheating the pocket to get a real good shot on the 9, and that's what happens sometimes.
Yeah, a lot of people think that the pros play even better. Look at this. If this isn't a comedy of errors.
Well, you've got two buddies running together and playing, and I can guarantee you that they're each wanting to win this match, and the nerves are showing a little bit this first game, but they're going to settle in after a few shots, and then you're going to see some real strong pool.
Well, I want to bring up something that I witnessed here at the White Diamonds tournament this weekend, and something very impressive to me. I saw you in a match against one of your proteges, Phil Burford, and you and others had money in the Calcutta on Phil, and you had the opportunity to lay down and allow Phil to stay in the winner's bracket, but you bared down and you were able to capture the win. Phil made some critical mistakes, one major critical mistake. He failed to pocket the 9 ball, and it was a shot that anyone could have made, but
he would have gone up 5-3, and instead the game was 4-4 at that point. But yeah, that was a hard-fought match, and it was a bittersweet win. But I have a reputation back in Kentucky of playing hard in a tournament, and not for love nor money would I ever lay down in a match.
Well,
the goal when you're playing a match is to win.
Yes,
and
indeed.
To do anything else is not with the integrity that the game deserves.
Well, you have a great deal of integrity and character, and I'm honored to be in the booth with you and to know you. And those that haven't had an opportunity to meet you and see the class that you exude, I witnessed something very special this weekend, and I'm genuinely impressed. Thank you for showing us how well you play, and also the class that you exuded with not allowing Phil to just run right through you. You beat him. You beat him fair and square, and you played well to do it too.
Yeah, that was it was a very interesting match. And Joey, thanks for all those nice comments. I'm feeling really good after all that.
Well, it's all true. So I don't have any problem in saying that to anyone, and I hope the internet viewers appreciate that little sideline story. We'll get back to this match here. We're still working on the first game. Is that?
No,
they didn't mark their score yet.
Yeah, the score's not marked. Definitely the second game. Obviously, there's going to be a defensive shot here.
Oh, while I was narrating that story about you, that shot.
He proved me wrong, so I'm 0 for 1 here. He made a terrific shot there. I thought he was going to swing 2 rails around behind the balls, but instead he made the ball. He shot a two-way shot, actually.
Yeah, Chip Compton smiled at that like, wow.
So he was playing defense, but he added the offense to it as well. So that's just was a tremendous shot.
Well, I think it come up short there. It's close. No, he can make that 8-ball 3-8 combo. I just peered off to the side there. It can be made. I don't know if he's going to go behind the 9 with this, though.
Yeah, that was the difficulty in that shot. You got to control that 3, and it got away from him, but he still got to look at it. So he can still control the table here. He's not too upset. He's at the table, and he's got a defensive shot that he can choose.
For those of you who are just joining us, I'm Joey Augustin, Joey A. from the Internet Pool Forums, and I'm in the booth with Stan Shuffett, famous for his training classes and his foundation courses. You can visit his website at justcueit.com and get more information about his foundation course, Center to Edge, and Pro 1.
Yeah, thanks, Joey.
Oh, you're welcome.
Appreciate you mentioning that.
Yeah.
I stay quite busy. Typically, I'm booked 2 to 3 months in advance, and it's sort of have to pinch myself sometimes because I do stay very busy with something that I love, and obviously I'm very passionate about teaching pool.
Well, I've experienced this for myself firsthand, taking pool lessons from you, and also you were kind enough to inspire me to play some of my best pool ever, and give me some tips about some of the things that were adversely affecting my game, and I want to thank you for that. This has been by far, I've won tournaments in the past, some of them rather large, but this tournament was my most favorite tournament of all because I actually played my best pool ever.
Yeah, I was extremely impressed. 128-man field, and you nailed down a 5th, 6th finish, and you played super strong. You were a warrior out there, Joey. Proud of you. Well,
thank you very much, Stan. I had a lot of fun, and I give credit to you and Phil Burford. You both saw things that in my game that I could improve on, and they were very small things that, but you caught them right away, and so did Phil, and it helped me to play a better game of pool. And I some of the internet viewers may not know this, but you give lessons to all levels of players. You even many of the professional players themselves. I know you don't do a lot of tooting your own horn, but I'm here to tell you that I'm impressed when pros come to your classes to learn about the finer arts of cueing. That's quite impressive to me. I know there's lots of good instructors all around the country. You are in a class by yourself.
Well, Joey, it's a lot of players are extremely good at what they do, but they don't always have the concepts in place. And basically, many players are right-brain players, and I see a lot of players that they just want to know why. And it's not like they can't do most of what I teach. They just want to understand the whys behind it. And over the last 25 or 30 years, I've spent a lot of time trying to understand the whys myself. So it's just a matter of, passing it on to other players. And then, one thing that's interesting from my perspective is that as an instructor, I see a lot of good players. So every time I work with a good player, then I become a student as well, and I learn from that person. So I accumulate knowledge on a regular basis, and then when I get a student, then I share it all with any new student that I work with.
Well, we just saw one fantastic shot there by Chip Compton. Chip Compton, Joey Gray, my bad. Now we just need to see a nice clean cut here and stay out in the middle of the table. Just don't get hooked behind the 9, and he's all good. No clean cut there.
Yeah, that was a tough shot. He had to go for it.
I think Chip will have an easier time with this 5-ball than Joey had with that frozen ball, or almost frozen ball. Yeah. Not much to do here except, there you go. That was a gimme there. We're going to have to update the scores. Scores 2-0 in favor of Chip Compton, and we'll get those scores updated in just a moment. There you go. It's a race to 7.
This format with rotate the break makes it a little bit tougher to come back when you find yourself in a hole, but it's been done many times throughout the tournament. But Joey's he doesn't want to get behind another game or two here. It's going to be a long road back.
Yeah, I know the feeling. $7.14 looks like it will go.
Yeah. The equipment this week I thought has just played outstanding. The Valley bar tables have great cloth, and the levelness of the table and so forth has just been really good. I've played on several different tables, and I really found no difference between from one table to the next. So.
Well, that's a credit to Chris Miller and Ashley, the owners of White Diamonds here in Lafayette, Louisiana. They put on, arguably the best weekend bar table tournament in America.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like it. It's really been quite a treat for me to be a part of this tournament. In fact, Phil and I, we came down. We left Kentucky last Tuesday and traveled down to New Orleans and spent a few days there at Buffalo's. And you're just a tremendous host. We got a nice tour of the French Quarter and a great meal downtown, and culminating with this event has just been a real treat.
Well, thank you, Stan. It was an honor to have you there at Buffalo Billiards. You got a chance to entertain the troops. Phil got a chance to show his prowess at the table, and I'm sure we'll be seeing more of him in the future.
Yeah, he's a fine player and a good kid.
Oh, yes, I can tell that easily, yeah. A little safety coming up here. Probably try and get behind that 15 if he can, or maybe behind the 13, 14. Stick that 9 on the 12 maybe. Oh, he's going to go behind the 12?
Yeah, he's just going to do a little finesse shot right here.
Yeah, he got it to that's even better. Chip might just try and get that 12 ball, climb up on top of that 9, get a little angle to it so it makes it difficult to make a combo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Chip's in a tough spot here. He's going to take the worst of it, no matter what he does.
Yeah, this is not too bad.
No, he's gonna live to fight another day, for sure. But Joey would like for him not to be able to see this 9-ball knock shot, obviously. And just as we expected, Chip's going to be kicking this ball.
Like you had mentioned earlier, you know, Chip and Joey Compton are extremely comfortable at these bar tables and at this event, and they've won so many of these events. That was one of the reasons why they coupled them together. If you buy them in the Calcutta, and you got to buy both. I think they've done that just to keep the arguing about, well, you know, this one's dumping, that one's dumping. You know, they're good friends and they travel around the country together, and you know, there's no monkey business going on. But Chris Miller, in his wisdom, has, you know, chosen to, you know, eliminate any possible discussion about, you know, business being done.
Yeah, that was a unique a move there to tie them together like that. I tip my hat to Chris as well.
How did you like witnessing Chris Miller in action with his auction?
Well, he's got a lot of stamina, and I guess he went for 4 or 5 hours solid at a decibel level that would remind me of some of my classroom antics back in the 70s. I had some tough classes, but I never had to go that long.
Right.
But no, he did it.
Did he plan to run into that 12 ball?
I
turned my head for a second.
You know, he could have. It was a big ball there on that rail, so it wouldn't surprise me. And again, that's just knowing the situations on a bar table and how to deal with them. There's so much to be learned by watching these good players play.
We almost had Shane Van Boning to come down to Lafayette, Louisiana. I was talking with him on one of the internet forums and spoke to him in a chat, and he complained to me that he needed to rest up. He has a very busy schedule. I think when Shane does come to this tournament, he's just going to add a lot more excitement to it. You know, and I'll tell you, Shane's a great bar table player, but he's going to have his work cut out for him in this event.
Yes, yeah. Shane will be, of course, traveling to the U.S. Open later this week, and that may have factored in his decision to rest.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. I think Shane came off from a big win with Alex Pagulayan recently on one of the other TAR, theactionreport.com gambling events that they put on. Well,
that was a good win for Shane.
This game is taking a little longer than normal, but it looks like Chip's going to easily pocket this ball. Well, he hit the outside of that pocket. That didn't have to fall.
Yeah,
another millimeter to the left, and
he used the whole pocket. And that's typical on cut shots. A lot of times you get a little grab between the balls, and it pulls them away from the center. So that's something you always want to look out for when you're cutting balls. You know, either cut it a little thick or maybe add a little side spin to it, and it makes the cut. It makes the cut a little friendlier.
Mm-hmm. Makes the pocket a little larger.
Mm-hmm. I was just noticing Joey's grip on his brake. Very, very light grip. You know, you don't have to tense that hand up to hit the balls hard. It's a light grip. He had a very delicate touch on the cue there.
Well, Stan, all of the people that spend time with me in the booth are required to, sign up a contract with Joey A. To give up some pool secrets to the internet viewing audience, and you are no different than any of the other pro players that get in the booth with Joey A. So we're going to be asking you some, to share a few of your secrets. Not all of them. They can come to your class, but we just like you had talked about Joey's grip being very loose on the break. We want you to give us some insight into some of the things that people might be able to use to improve their game.
Sure. You may have to prompt me on a couple of things, a couple of areas, and I'd be glad to expand on them.
All right. Well, great.
One of the big things in pool, and you gotta have that head still when you shoot. It can't be moving up and down. And so many players, even good players, get comfortable and they have head movement and they don't even know it. But the good players are just dead still. Now, even Joey right there raised up a little bit.
Right.
And when you're playing on a bar table, you can get by with that a little bit more than maybe on a 9-foot table. So
because the pockets are a little larger,
yeah,
a little more generous.
Yeah. So even good players, when they're playing on a bar table, should discipline themselves to have the same type fundamentals that they would take to a 9-foot table.
Well, this is one of my pet peeves about pool, and that is that you mentioned that even top players sometimes don't realize that they're having some head movement, and that's my pet peeve, is that there are very few coaches in pool, and coaching is in virtually every sport in America and across the world, and but there are very few coaches in pool, and it's pretty sad that there aren't more people involved in coaching.
Yes, I agree. I can just think back to my early days in playing. Back then, information was hard to come by. I would have given anything just to have some tips to help me along the way. I just watched good players play, and if they looked pretty good, then I tried to copy what they were doing. But even at that, it could have been something that was incorrect. But coaching is certainly a benefit for those players that can take advantage of it.
Yeah, I've been a recipient of some of that coaching during this event, and it's certainly helped my pool game. Guys, Joey's taking a little break. Chip's still sitting at the table and waiting for his traveling partner to come back. We've got Brandon Schuff waiting in the wings. He's got the hot seat all tied up.
Mm-hmm. Brandon's he's had a very strong tournament. He's a steady player. He plays he plays many of the games. I know he plays some one pocket, and he plays straight pool very well. Obviously, he plays the rotation games well, and that's what young players should do. They should try to specialize across the board in the games.
Well, he's got a little transition problem from the 3 to the 4 that I can see, and the 5's tied up, 7, 8. He's got a big old traffic block down there.
Yeah, he's gonna work his way to the 3 and see what his angle looks like, and then decide what he's gonna do. He may.
He's gonna muscle it out.
Yeah, it depends on the angle he gets.
Right.
You know, he might just nudge the cue ball in behind the 7 and move the 4 up table.
Well, you see what he did just now. You know, he put a really big stroke on that shot. You know, a lot of players, when they go to put some low right English on that, they'll come up short, get snookered behind the 9 ball.
Yeah,
Joey didn't leave that chance.
Yeah, that was a classic 9-ball stroke, and you know, Joey, that causes me to think of something that I can share with the folks.
Oh, great!
You know, one of the most under-taught strokes in the game of pool is a punch stroke, and as I see it, there's really 2 major strokes in the game. You got a punch stroke and you got a 9-ball stroke. And right here, he's going to execute a little finesse stroke. And I thought that might be the plan there, is to put that cue ball behind the 7. But the game offers 9-ball strokes and punch strokes. The 9-ball stroke is the type stroke where you really want that Q-tip to force its way through the cue ball.
Yeah.
The punch stroke entails a shorter backswing, typically where the tip is contacting the cue ball right around the core, and the follow through can be shortened up a little bit too. But I think it really adds a lot to a player's skills to learn that punch stroke. It's a lot more accurate stroke because you got a shorter, more compact pendulum.
I see. That's you were kind enough to share some of those secrets about the punch stroke with me, and I can tell you from personal experience that the punch stroke is something that every single person really needs to learn to the level that I did just this weekend, and it helps you cinch a lot of balls that you don't normally cinch.
Yeah, and not only cinching the ball, but you cinch position too.
Mm-hmm.
I spent a little time with Truman Hogue 2 or 3 years ago, and he indicated to me that, of course, he's a great bank player. He indicated to me that about 75% of all his strokes were punch strokes, and the other 25% are 9-ball strokes.
Wow.
In fact, I was awakened this morning by a call by Truman Hogue. I actually planned on sleeping in a little bit later, but the phone rings and it's Truman. He's going to have a bank tournament in Louisville, Kentucky, at the Bank Shot. Thanksgiving weekend, so you bank players around the Kentucky area, you might as well start sharpening up your bank stroke, because Truman runs a pretty mean tournament up there.
Oh, that sounds fantastic. You know, you also shared some very important secrets of racking. You know, you see these top players like Chip and Joey. Look, Chip's there inspecting it. Found a little something. He found a little something wrong with that rack.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people are accustomed to looking at the first couple of balls, and they don't pay much attention to the rest of it. But you can rest assured that the players are looking at the back 3 balls and the balls in front of the 9-ball. There's a few good players out there that have spent a lot of time dissecting the rack, and they know where the cracks can be and where they can't be. So the information travels around, and the good players are pretty much going to come across that information simply because it's a fraternity to some degree, and they share, and it generally makes its way out to the public as well.
Well, it doesn't make some of that information doesn't make it out to the public as often as one would think, because you were able to show me the finer points of racking that opened up my eyes quite a bit, and I'm just impressed. I've seen a lot of the books and videos out there, and you shared some. It's very difficult to express on the internet exactly what you had discussed. So I'm not trying to keep a secret from the internet audience. It's just that it's you alluded to some of the points that you had made in showing me things to look for in Iraq, just watching these players when they go to rack. Oftentimes, the best breakers are really just the best rackers.
Yes, the good rackers are patient. They when they rack the balls, they stay there that extra minute if they need to get the rack like they wanted, if they're racking their own.
See, oh man, he was able to, masse that ball quite well.
Yeah, he hit it very well. But that's, I guess you could say maybe a perfect rack might be something that you would get with a magic rack. So the players that are racking, they'd like all the balls frozen, because when you get all those balls frozen, then you've got a real good shot at making the corner ball and controlling the one ball. Mm-hmm. So, even on this tough equipment, good players are patient enough to go ahead and learn how to rack the balls on a particular table. And they work at it, and that's one reason they're able to do it. They know what they're looking for, and they work at it until they get it.
Well, just looking at Joey, I had the opportunity to play Joey Gray in this tournament, and he was flawless, played extremely well, knocked me out of the tournament, as a matter of fact. And I had a really good tournament, but I got a little tired at the end, and Joey capitalized on my weaknesses and sent me packing.
Well, Joey, we share something in common. Well, we share a lot of things in common, but we were each born in 1950, so between us we've got 122 years. So, we finished it. We cashed in this tournament, so.
And we did all right.
Yes, we did.
We did all right.
If you work on your health and your eyesight's good and you love the game and you want to play, you can play this game right on up there into the years. I feel like I'm playing now about as good as I've ever played, maybe better.
Well, I know I'm playing my best pool ever.
Yeah, you've played terrifically. I'm sort of having a good time now with, Phil Burford's. He has his sports visa now, and he's here in the U.S., and he's living with us for the next couple of years. So, I've got a built-in professional sparring partner, and that's just that's something. And of course, Landon, he gets in the mix too. Landon and Phil play, and Phil and I play, and we're just helping each other to become better players.
Well, I can see Phil has got some super talent. He's a very young fellow. 20 years old?
Yeah, he's 20. He'll be 21 this fall.
Yeah, he's a true talent and a very nice young man. I had a lot of fun talking with him this weekend. With my little hearing impediment. He's got that British accent. He's got a great sense of humor, and I had a lot of fun talking with him. Well, I don't know. It didn't look like he put that much effort into hitting that 6 ball.
Yeah.
The score is 3-3 now. I'll update that score just a second.
He wants to shoot this combination right now, but he's going to look at the run real close, and he's just looking at percentages right now. Can I run the balls more often than I can make the combination? And one ball at a time, he's going to pick these balls off because he feels more confident doing that than shooting the combination. I think he's going to be all right. He's just going to
spinning it off the rail.
Yeah, he's just going to snake it around there.
Yeah, he'll have good shape too. Yeah.
No, that was a nice touch. You know, he used a closed bridge on that shot, and I think that's correct. Anytime you're putting a lot of spin on the ball, it's a good idea to use a closed bridge if you can.
That's a nice tip.
Yeah, you know, if you're hitting the ball hard or with draw or with a lot of spin, a closed bridge gives you more stability. You know, I miscued one time in this tournament, and I was just trying to draw a ball with a lot of draw and a lot of outside spin, and I miscued, and it was simply because I didn't close the bridge. I was jacked up a little bit over another ball, but if I had to do it again, I would have used a closed bridge, and I think I would have saved the game there.
Mm-hmm. Well, we've still got a packed house. I'm just looking around White Diamonds. I don't think any of the camera views show the audience there. And there's a few people you can see.
Yeah, there's been an amazing crowd here from morning to the wee hours of the morning each night, and it's, you know, the folks in this area just you know, love pool, and there's people here from far and wide that obviously love the game as well.
Yeah, lots of action on the auxiliary tables, 8 and 9 foot tables out there in White Diamonds. People gambling, ring games, bank games. You want some action?
Yeah,
you come out to this event.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot going on at this tournament.
Well, I don't know exactly what he's going to do here.
Yeah, he might just butt the cue ball up against the one and let. Okay.
Oh, he could get past the 4. Very nice.
You know, for me, it's always interesting to see what these bar table players do in these situations, because I'm not a bar table player. I've played some bar pool, but it's the mental decisions are sometimes a little bit different.
Well, you know, for a guy that doesn't play on a bar table, you and Phil Burford came to this event and placed 9th through 12th in this event. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Well,
and I feel like I pretty much maxed out. And Phil's got the talent to have gone further, but it wasn't to be. But he still had a good tournament.
Well, you had something to do with that, knocking Phil into the one-loss side, even though it was costing you money. So. You know, that's Phil's a top player. You can tell that, and I'm sure we're going to see a lot more from Phil in the future years to come.
Oh, that's for sure. Joey really hit that ball nice. He really stayed down on that ball and hit it just solid as a rock.
Yeah, we had an opportunity to talk with Ming from Houston, Texas, Alvin, Texas area, and we both know Jay Helford from you know, the pool world, and we had a nice, fun conversation talking with her and Jay Helford right after my elimination from the tournament. Jay was full of congratulations, and I call him the gingerbread man, and Ming calls him Papa Smurf.
Yeah, I see the gingerbread man phraseology on AZ at times, and I've often wondered who that was. Now I know. You let the cat out of the bag.
Oh, yeah.
It's Toupee J.
That's right, Toupee J. That's his original name. That man's got more monikers than you can shake a stick at.
Yeah, good. Jay's a good fellow, I'll tell you.
Oh,
he's one of the finest in the game.
Alcohol, and you'll have 20 minutes to drink it. So whatever you give, you'll have 20 minutes to drink it. Then we got to pick everything up. Last call alcohol.
That was the
Joey, should we get another 6-pack now, or?
Well, I doubt we'll ever finish a six-pack.
Okay, we'll just do a couple of doubles.
There you go. Now, oh yeah, the alternate break format is in effect here. They're racing to 7. Joey Gray leads 5-3. Oh, 9 ball. Oh, almost. Not quite.
Yeah, it could be a
little jump shot coming up here.
Yeah,
you can curve that.
A lot of times
that ball. Let's see if we can get some additional angles for our viewers. That's a little better view.
Yeah, he's got a full look at the 2 ball. I'm not for sure what he's going to do though.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he hit that real well. A lot of times when the 9's in the hole, it's an early game, but not this game. You know, Joey, talking about some tips for some players. You know, most of your amateur players and even some good players at that put most of their emphasis on the cue going forward. But the top professionals put more emphasis on their backswing. And that backswing should be slow and straight. And they focus on that slow backswing with a good transition from the backswing to the foreswing. But you know, a lot of students that I work with, they come through the door, and their attention is on the cue going forward. Mm-hmm. But if you want to notch your game up a level or two, then slow that backswing down and make it nice and straight, and pay a lot of attention to that and watch your game get better.
That's an excellent tip, no doubt about it. Keep that forward stroke from going offline. If you keep the backstroke slow and straight, you don't have to correct any offline error that you might get from a fast swing.
Yeah, you know, if your alignment is good, then a slow backswing is a huge benefit to one's game. Of course, you know, a player has to be lined up good. That's one of the most important parts of pool is when you're in that set position and that tips at that cue ball, it's got to be dead. It can't be somewhere where you got to know where that tip is. You got to know you're going to make the ball, and your spin or whatever is going to be just what you intended. If it's something else other than that, then you're set up for failure right from the set position before you ever move the cue. So it's extremely important when you first get down to being dead line.
Well, I hate that you and Phil will be going back to Kentucky in the near future. I'd love for you to stay around, and I'd love to learn more about pool. You've shared a lot of great secrets with me, and it's been, it's added to the fun of me playing pool, and I really appreciate it.
Well, you've reciprocated very well, Joey. You know, you're a respected one-pocket player, and I'm not telling anything that the folks don't know, but I kept my eye on you pretty good when we were practicing one pocket, and you were playing. I appreciate the tips that you gave me, and if I could study with you about a week in one pocket, then I think I would. I think I could move my game up a notch or two. I know I could move it up a notch or two. So.
Wow. Well, that's a great compliment. Thank you, Stan.
Yeah, you're welcome. There's a lot of give and take in this game, you know,
yeah, no one knows it all, you know. I mean, everybody's got certain strengths, and you know, I've spent a lot of time not only playing one pocket, but playing against people that play extremely well at one pocket, and you know, you do pick up a few different shots and different strategies and things that help you win at one pocket.
Sure. It's a great game.
Well, you're invited back. Bring your wife back to Louisiana another trip, and bring Landon, and we'll pass a good time at Buffalo Billiards.
It's a done deal. We'll do it.
All right. Well, Chip has tied this up at 5-5. Looks like he's going to make a run at getting out here, threading that needle there with no problems, not sweating, hitting the 8. Just like you said. These two guys are so comfortable at the bar table.
Yeah, it almost could be a TV show, Chip and Joey's show. But I think Brandon Schuff wants to have something to say about that. We'll see next match.
Well, that's right. Brandon's waiting in the hot seat. They'll have to. Whoever wins this match will have to play Brandon and beat him twice.
Yeah, and that's going to be a tough chore to do. Brandon's playing good, and he's no stranger to being in the finals of a tournament, and he's an all-round player. He's a well-rounded player.
Yeah, I want to say that there's like $40-something thousand in this event. So those of you around the country who profess to be bar table players, you might want to come down to Lafayette and pass a good time.
Yeah, I can concur with that, Joey. It's a terrific tournament. It's on great equipment. The races are to 7. It's alternate the breaks. So, the tournament. It's a good format for everybody. You can anybody can slip up and win some matches.
Yeah, even lesser players like ourselves, or
now, Joey.
Well, now come on now, Stan. Cliff Joyner's sitting over there giving one of our local bangers 13-2 over there on the one pocket tournament, but he didn't even cash in the tournament. So
okay, there you go.
All right. Let's see what Joey does. A little brings that cue ball to the side there. That was a little different. A little cut break. During the tournament, I did one cut break, and I actually had success with the cut break. Almost made the 9 ball, made another ball, but the cue ball went across the table and scratched.
Yeah, that's actually a little unusual on that cut break. If you execute it right, one of the advantages of that cut break is that you get the cue balls not going to the middle of the table, get kicked in the side or even the corner.
Yeah.
You're going to that side rail first, and then the traffic is settled, and then the cue ball comes out. So it does have that advantage, and there's certain times you use the cut break, and typically you don't see it on a bar table, but it's.
Oh, look at this!
It doesn't hurt to try it sometimes if the other the break techniques aren't working.
Right. Joey just missed a key shot there.
Yeah, I think Chip is going to road map these balls out pretty good. I'd be surprised if he doesn't get out. 9 ball is a game of angles. It's just keeping on the proper side of the ball. A lot of times in one pocket or straight pool, you got to pinpoint the ball. But, this is just angles for Chip. He's going to get real close to where he wants to be, but his main objective is to be on the proper side of the ball. And that's just what he's doing.
Well, I sure would like to see Shane Van Boning come down here to South Louisiana, to Lafayette, Louisiana, and give Joey and Chip a run for their money, and Brandon Schuff as well.
Yeah, I think it'd be a real treat to see Shane here. And the thing about it, as great as Shane is, he does not have to win this tournament by any means. There's some terrific players here, and Shane would have some close matches, I can assure you of that.
Well, Chip, Joey Gray just gave that last game to Chip Compton. Pretty easy shot there.
Yeah.
I would have made him shoot that one.
Yeah, but Joey had a great tournament. He came in here, and people expected him to, to finish in the top 2 or 3, and he did just that. He stood the test of a 128-man field, and what a great young player. Seems like a great kid too.
He sure is. Well, Stan, I've enjoyed visiting with you and being here in the booth. Thank you for sharing those valuable tips. Those internet viewers that are interested in personal pool lessons from Stan Schuffett, they can go to justqueit.com. And anything else that you'd care to share while we're getting ready to go into this next finals match?
Well, I can't think of anything, Joey. I think we pretty much covered all the bases. It's fun sitting in with you and doing commentary, and it was a blast. I'd like to do it again with you sometime.
We will. Thank you again, Stan. We appreciate your time, and everyone stay tuned for the finals match between Brandon Schuff and Chip Compton.
Okay, thanks, Joey.
All right.